We got a reprieve for 4 years. Wes, I call it a 4-year reprieve with a Middle East policy that made sense, where you had new peace treaty signed.
Right.
But we're about to go back to the old days.
Yeah, it's an overworked cliche, but you remember the cliche that says, the definition of its insanity is to try do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. For decades, the American strategy, in that part of the world did not work. For the last 4 years, we've made incredible progress. It has worked, and yet they want to go back to the old strategy that obviously does not work.
We destroyed ISIS. We destroyed their caliphate. We put this whole group around of nations around Iran, now we're going to. And by the way, that's the first time the Bush administration and the Biden administrations won't be that different on. I mean, they're not. The Biden administration would be more anti-Israel than a past Republican administration, but they still weren't willing to make the deals and think outside the box the way we've talked about with the Trump administration. To first and foremost, to keep us safe as Americans from the threat from Iran, but also our allies. The more peace deals we can be a part of in the United States, the better in a region of the world that's usually so on fire every time the peace-loving Democrats come into office. Suddenly we're bombing Libya. We've got ISIS. We got the caliphate on the rise. We got a three-way conflict with Russia involved in Syria, and increased troops into Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah. The ones that the peace-loving ones are the ones that tend to get us into
the
the most
Nobel
wars.
Peace Prize, Obama.
Yeah, while he was getting us into conflicts, and then when he needed to get us to do something, like when Syria was gassing their people,
red lines.
Then red lines that they cross, he does nothing. I'm afraid that's what we're going to go back to. So that means that our team has to be engaged.
Biden was worse.
Biden said, "Do not take out Osama bin Laden."
Yeah, I mean, many of the advisors said on foreign policy, Joe Biden was always had the worst perspective on that. So even worse than what we saw under the Obama years is Joe Biden when it comes to foreign policy.
Wasn't the general said that he was wrong on every decision involving foreign policy?
It was Robert Gates, the Secretary of Defense.
What did he say exactly?
He said that in every strategic international decision, he was wrong on every one of them.
There you go.
I mean, so this could be worse than Obama.